The notification lit up my phone at 9:47 p.m. A Facebook photo. My son Michael, his wife Sarah, and my 3 grandchildren at some chain restaurant.
Celebrating his 45th birthday. Chocolate cake. Balloons, their faces glowing with laughter. At 76, with 12 restaurants to my name, I, Robert Harrison, finally see the truth. I built an empire, but lost my family. And the worst part, I'm watching my son make the exact same mistake. I wasn't invited to that family gathering. Let me tell you how it happens. How you trade everything that matters for something that means nothing. By 1982, Catherine and I opened Harrison's Diner with our life savings and a bank loan that terrified us. Michael was 2 years old then, playing with pots and pans in the corner while we painted walls and assembled tables. We lived in a small apartment above the restaurant. Money was tight. The hours were brutal. But we were together. I remember those early years so clearly. Mornings, I'd flip pancakes while Catherine managed the register, and Michael would sit in his high chair, clapping his flour-covered hands. We'd close at 8 p.m., exhausted, then climb upstairs to collapse on the couch. Catherine would fall asleep on my shoulder, while Michael played with his toy cars on the floor. "We're going to make it," she'd whisper. "We already have," I'd tell her, and I truly meant it. Within 2 years, we were profitable. Not wealthy, but comfortable enough. Michael started kindergarten. I walked him there every morning before the breakfast rush. I attended every parent-teacher conference, every school play. Sundays, we closed the diner and went to the park. Just the 3 of us. Those were the best years of my life. I just didn't know it then. By 1990, we owned 4 restaurants. Harrison's Diner became a local brand. The money was good, really good. We bought a house in the suburbs, a nice car. Michael, now 10, had his own bedroom, new clothes, toys we couldn't have dreamed of affording before. "You're doing this for him," Catherine reminded me when I started missing bedtime stories, "so he can have a better life." I believed her. I believed myself. But something shifted. With 4 restaurants came managers, staff meetings, vendor negotiations, endless problems. A freezer breaks at location 2 while I'm handling a staffing crisis at location 4. An inspection at location 3 while location 1 has a plumbing emergency. You can't handle multiple things at once when time is limited, and neither could I. I couldn't attend parent-teacher conferences. I couldn't watch my boy perform at school concerts. I couldn't cheer at his beloved baseball games. But in return, the restaurants flourished. Whatever the latest sports gear was, Michael had it. The boy even had a nice watch that all the neighborhood kids admired and coveted. Catherine seemed more sharp with me, but I didn't listen. Because with 4 restaurants and only 2 hands, 2 feet, and 1 head, you can't do it any other way. Women always demand more than what they have, not knowing how hard men have to work. Then the new millennium hit, and I reached 8 locations. Harrison's wasn't just diners anymore. We'd expanded into casual dining, upscale bistros. I was interviewed in regional magazines. Local entrepreneur builds restaurant empire. There was talk of franchising, of going national. Michael was 20, college sophomore, studying business. I was so proud. Following in his father's footsteps, I thought. But when was the last time we'd had a real conversation? I couldn't remember. Our relationship had become transactional. He needed money for textbooks. I sent it. Wanted to study abroad? I paid for it. Called with questions about a class. I was in a meeting. Called back 3 days later. His 21st birthday. I had it all planned. Dinner at Restaurant 7, our finest location. I reserved the private dining room, ordered the best wine, invited extended family. But Michael didn't show up. I called him and only got busy signals. My wife said that as Michael matured, he seemed harder to manage. I was frustrated, but I figured at that age, I was probably the same. Maybe I'd given him too much money, but what could I do? That was what I had the most of. Catherine sat across from me, her eyes red. And I felt something somewhat empty inside, too. The greatest sorrow of this period was when Catherine left us, a terrible illness. Fortunately, we had money, so she received the best medical care and departed at her most beautiful. But against death, I truly had no way to fight back. I was devastated. I never imagined this mansion would feel so empty without her, and I could only bury myself in work as the number of missed calls to Michael increased. He was pursuing new goals, too, and couldn't chat with this father of his. Restaurant 12 opened 3 years ago. Now I have 12 restaurants generating millions of dollars annually. I have a home that's too big, too quiet. I have grandchildren who call me Grandpa Robert, with the same polite distance they'd use with any elderly stranger. And I have a son who doesn't invite me to his birthday. Last month, I drove past Restaurant 4, where I'd missed Michael's piano recital 26 years ago. I pulled into the parking lot and just sat there, engine running, staring at the building. What was I doing that night? Probably something urgent, a staffing issue, a vendor problem, something that seemed critical then, and that I can't even remember now. But I remember Michael's face when he came home, still in his recital clothes. "How was it, buddy?" I'd asked, barely looking up from paperwork. "It was good," he said quietly, then went to his room. I never heard him play piano again. He quit a month later. When I asked why, he shrugged. "Just don't feel like it anymore." I stole that from him. His joy in music, his desire to perform. I killed it with my absence. 2 weeks ago, I finally got the courage to visit Michael unannounced. Sarah answered the door, surprise flickering across her face before politeness took over. Dinner was awkward. My grandchildren, Emma, 14, Jake, 11, Lily, 8, barely spoke to me. They answered questions in monosyllables, eyes darting to their father, as if he might rescue them from this strange old man at their table. I tried. God, I tried. "Jake, your dad says you play soccer?" I asked my grandson, trying to make dinner more pleasant, but the conversation died. Michael jumped in, trying to help, but it was like trying to resuscitate something that had never been alive in the first place. After dinner, Michael walked me to my car. The streetlights cast long shadows, and I could see how much he looked like his mother now. The same eyes. The same expression when working up to saying something difficult. Michael was preparing to open his second company branch. I congratulated him, and I told Michael not to let his wealth take away the things that can't be bought. Michael looked at me with surprise. I just smiled and returned to my own mansion. Last Saturday, I went to watch my grandson Jake's soccer game. Michael was there too. Sarah sat between us, her hand in Michael's. When Jake scored, we all stood up and cheered. Jake looked up at the bleachers, his face bright with joy, and waved at his father. Michael waved back. This time he saw it. After the game, we all went for ice cream, not to one of my restaurants, to a local shop with sticky tables and melting cones. Emma actually laughed at something I said. Lily showed me a drawing she'd made at school. Jake talked non-stop about the game, and Michael watched his children, really watched them, and I could see him understanding. He's cut back his expansion plans, turned down 2 of the 3 cities. Family first, he told his partners. They didn't understand, but Sarah did. The kids did. I'm 76. I can't get back the years I lost. Can't rewrite Michael's childhood or redo my marriage with Catherine. Can't build the relationship with my grandchildren I should have built from the start. But I can be here now. I can show up at soccer games and school plays. I can learn their favorite ice cream flavors and the names of their friends. I can be Grandpa, not the rich guy who sends checks, but the one who shows up. and I can tell my son the truth I learned too late. 12 restaurants mean nothing if you eat alone. Success means nothing if you celebrate alone. Money means nothing if the people you love most would rather have dinner anywhere else. Because in the end, the only table that matters is where your family wants you to sit, not because you're paying.
Not because you're successful, but because you're home.